right, and we're live here at In Your Head. I am the internet icon, the pride of the pilgrims, handsome Jackie Jones, and I'm joined by Patricia Summerland, Sunny the California girl, the original gorgeous ladies of wrestling, and it's very cool to have you here.
Thank you. Hi, and thanks for having me. It's not quite a sunny day up here, by the way. I'm freezing my butt off. I just got in at dropping temps to like, I don't know, 30 degrees tonight. So
really?
That's not sunny to me. No. Yeah. No. It's cold up here on the mountain.
Yeah. Where are you?
I live in Lake of the Woods. And by the way, there is no lake. It is woods, no lake. There used to be years ago, but I am in Central California and I live up like a Big Bear type situation.
Oh, I actually know where Big Bear was. I was Arrow something, but it was right next to Big Bear in
Lake
last
Arrowhead.
December. Yes.
Yes, Lake Arrowhead. That's where I used to fish with my parents all the time. I love it. But I'm at the opposite end of the spectrum. So where I live it's called Los Padres National Forest, which is similar to Big Bear, but it's going north, going towards, Sacramento. But I'm in the middle of California, Central California, deep in the woods, and I'm 5,800 feet up. Yeah.
All right. The woods of the woods instead of the lake of the woods.
Exactly.
All right. So I'm sure people, tuned in to hear about everyone's whereabouts. So that's a good way to start the show. Right.
Well, the good thing is they can never find me here. I live in the land of the lost, so I can always say Lake of the Woods, and people are like, "Where's that?" I'm like, "Good luck in finding you too."
Yeah, it sounds very cool.
No reception. Yeah, we have no reception here, so you can never find me. It drops connection and everything. People are like, "Oh, I'll just get you on my GPS." I'm like, "Good luck."
Yeah, actually, I remember when I was out there for a movie in December. And we were in Lake Arrowhead, and me and one of the other guys went out to get food for everybody at the cabin, and nothing worked on the way back, and so we were lost for quite a while in the wandering around the roads that were winding everywhere.
Right. Oh yeah. I mean, it's beautiful up there, though. I love it. Mm-hmm. My older daughter. I have two daughters, so my firstborn has a home up there in Big Bear. It's gorgeous, and so we'll go there hopefully for Thanksgiving. That'll be cool.
Cool.
Yeah. And no snow, though, by the way. And there's fires. We have fires here in California.
Fires are bad,
going on. Yeah. Nothing new. At least no earthquakes right now, so we don't want to jinx that. I'm going to knock on wood.
Right.
So
yeah. So, I mentioned G.L.O.W, obviously, but, over the last few years, the documentary comes out and then the show comes out, and then there's like a new audience and people talk about G.L.O.W again. What is that experience like to be, so far removed from gorgeous ladies of wrestling, and then it becomes, something that people talk about again?
I think, ironically, G.L.O.W was talked about. It's just that people weren't aware of it as much after the G.L.O.W Netflix. I would say the millennials, but when G.L.O.W went off in 1992, we were on pay-per-view. So after 1992, we all went our separate ways, got married, had a life. Some of us had kids, some of us didn't, blah, blah, blah. We all led, different lives. So when the G.L.O.W Netflix came out, we were all very kind of shocked, surprised, and we didn't know what to think because, we weren't in it. So we're like, wait a minute, we're scratching our heads. We're like, this is about us, but it's so far from us.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so fictional that it was like, okay, well, I guess we can remove ourselves and watch it and enjoy it. It's awesome. Great actresses, but it's plain, it's supposed to be. So, I mean, I think for the millennials, when the name G.L.O.W is mentioned, it helped us as G.L.O.W girls now. And now we're back on Tubi TV. Things were in the works throughout the years. Matt just didn't know what to do. The director of G.L.O.W, what he wanted to do throughout the years. I don't even know if he was interested in doing another G.L.O.W show. And there probably will never be one because everyone asks, they're like, can they do another, G.L.O.W now? And I'm like, no, because G.L.O.W was perfect in the 80s. It just worked with the glitter, the big hair. the larger than life characters. It worked in the 80s. Glow cannot be duplicated. It's been tried and true, and they've failed. So, you know, we're fortunate that we were the original Glow Girls, and we're very fortunate we have a show about us, and it made it to the 3rd season. It was supposed to make it to the 4th season, but because of COVID, you know, that's it. It's done.
Yeah, it was a shock to a lot of people, because a lot of people I know, you know, not even wrestling fans, a lot of people I know were big fans of the TV show.
Oh, awesome. That's great. Yeah, I mean, it was a great show. It was interesting, but I think the 3rd season was the best for us, and most of the Glow Girls that I know will agree. Mm-hmm. The actual original Glow Girls, like myself, we can sit there and watch it and go, okay, yeah, now we see it. We see some wrestling. We see some characterization, but that's about it. Nothing else was like it. Mm-hmm. Not at all. They didn't even come close. No, not at all. Nope.
Did they come to you or any of the Glow girls to ask them, you know, about any stories?
No, we weren't involved in it at all. It's a long story, but one of the original Glow Girls that owns the rights to Glow, her name is Ursula. Mm-hmm. She's the one that, I will say, stole the script from somebody we know within the Glow group and sold it to Netflix. She got $3 million and sold all of us girls out.
Oh, wow.
That's why it's nothing like it should have been, or why none of us girls got any cameo appearances or anything like that. Mm-hmm. You know, because we get asked that all the time. They're like, how come you guys didn't make an appearance? Well, they didn't ask us to. It wasn't about us. It was their actresses that they put in there by the script that was given, and yada, yada. And yeah, so this Glow Girl, she was a good girl. You know, I used to be friends with her back in Glow. Of course, I don't like her now. Of course not, because she did some dirty things, and what she did there was pretty low as well. So she made $3 million though, however, and sitting pretty in her own little house and all that. So we'll just leave it at that. But you know what? There's some good things that Glow Girls are doing. We've got something coming out soon, which I can't really talk about. Afterglow, which is, you know, going well. And a lot of the girls have their own individual things going, their own niches, their own things they're selling, whatever they're doing, you know, in their lives. So we're okay with that. We're happy. Some of us can still wrestle. We get in the ring. I can still wrestle. I'm a kickboxer. I'm a champion, you know, kickboxer and all that stuff. I've fought after Glow. So I trained with UFC. My brother was one of the international top UFC world champions, Nico the Dragon. So he had trained me. Yeah. So that is to my advantage, you know, because wrestling, as we know, it can be as real as it is. I was injured in wrestling more than I ever was in any other sport that I participated in. So I will say it's definitely real as far as that goes.
I know, like, but when I've had Ken Shamrock and Dan Severn on, they both said the same thing, that they had much more injuries in wrestling than in UFC. And they said it's because of the constant bumps, you know, as opposed to fighting every, you know, month or couple months.
Exactly. And this is so true. I mean, mine was in the pile driver, which they now, you know, don't use.
Yeah.
Of course, the pile driver's gone. But I had to do that every night when we were on tour. Beastie the Road Warrior and I would have our match. And you know that match has to go on. Do or die. You're out there every night in the arenas, you know, performing in front of 20, 30, 40,000 people that we had at that time in the 80s in the Coliseums when we toured from here to Georgia. And then we did the Mid-South and Mid-North areas. So she had me upside down, and the timing was just a little bit off, and my neck hit the mat instead, and I blacked out, and they thought I broke my neck. And they were chanting, "Sonny." That's all I remember, as they were putting me in the ambulance to go. And it was like, oh my God, I've never felt so much pain. My whole region of my right side of my neck, I thought I tore every muscle, ligament, whatever you want to call it, was done. But I did not break my neck, thank God, because of the training that I was taught for whatever that was. The brain taught me just a split second to turn, just that little bit. That's all it took. But I still blacked out, and I had severe injury from that. And then in the punching bag in the beginning of Glow, as girls had to punch the bag. You know, we went through military training, so we had to do push-ups and men's push-ups, that is, no sissy push-ups. And, you know, 6 weeks training with that, and then gymnastics, you know, you have to go through all that again. And then the trampoline, we were, you know, in a quick 6-week training it was harsh. It was tough. It wasn't easy. And the ones who weren't cut out for it left and were told to go anyway, because I think there was 70 or 100 girls that tried out that originally made the cut out of 350. Mm-hmm. At least in my tryouts, there was 350 girls. So it was whittled down to 36 girls. And then they start giving us our characters names. But in the boxing, when we started, I hit the boxing bag straight on. And I knew better, but I was trying to be tough and, oh yeah, I got this. And I didn't even curve, and my knuckles broke in the beginning. So I had a cast on my hand up to my wrist in the beginning of Glow through my training. Oh yeah, a lot of fun.
Did you have any interest in wrestling before the Glow tryouts?
You know what? I come from a family of well, if you say military, law enforcement, and they loved wrestling, my brother and my father. So I was at the Olympic Auditorium when I was 5 years old with my father, my mom, my dad. We went to the roller derby. So nice. I was exposed to, Classy Blassie, the Destroyer, Mr. Moto, and my dad and my brother knew them all. So they would come over to my mom, to our house, and my mom would cook a big feast when I was little. So I was surrounded by all these guys, Andre the Giant, I could go on with names, but the Giant, all those guys, my dad knew. So he loved wrestling. It was his thing. And he was watching Glow one day on TV and called me out of my room. I was a swimmer model then. So I was always a tomboy. I was in track and field. I played volleyball, all sports, softball, basketball, but where I've gotten my awards was from track running. So I competed against the women or girls at that time, then women, and then went on with the boys and the men because I was, excelling in that. So I did the relays, 1,000-yard dashes on up. I did all that. And so wrestling was kind of different for me, from running. But my father was watching Glow, and he's the one that got me into it and told me to send in my headshot for the audition. And sure enough, next thing you know, I'm packing my bags from California and went to Las Vegas for the tryouts. And my dad took Gil, and he never got to see me wrestle live. He passed away. Yeah, that was a tough one. So I left Glow at the very end of Glow before it actually ended, which we didn't know it was going to end, but I wasn't there at the end. So I had to go see my dad, and I was in the room with him for 5 days as he was, dying. And so that was a toughie, but I knew I made him proud. And I told him, I said, Dad, I'm wrestling. And he goes, I know, baby, So, and that's in my comic book. I tell some of my life story in the comic book that is by Squared Circle Comics. So I was the first female out of any league, WWE, any of the leagues, to have their own comic book by Squared Circle. Wild. So I'm truly honored. Yeah, it was amazing when they asked me. And so mine was right after Volkov was finished, his book. And then oh gosh, I can't think of his name. He came after me. So the Killer Bees, they have Gangrel. That's it. Gangrel was done after mine. So we all tell our stories in these comic books. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And Rich Parada, he's the artist for DC and Marvel Comics. He's the one that did my comic book. So it's pretty awesome.
I saw the cover. The cover art I loved.
Is him, yeah, really, really good. And John Crowther is the writer, and then the owner of Squared Circle is, Kevin Laporte and Amanda Raquel. So yeah, it's pretty cool, really, really cool. And I really feel honored to have that and to tell a little bit about my story. If it could help someone out there, help I don't know anybody that, makes me happy.
Mm-hmm. So when you're at the tryouts for G.L.O.W, did you start to think of your character? Like, how does that evolve? Is that up to you, or is that something that they create?
It was something that they watched us and evaluated us and gave us the character. I had no say so. No. Apparently my character was molded from Jane Mansfield, the sex symbol, which was Matt's wife when she passed on. They were married. So Tony Simber was their son, and Tony Simber was our referee in G.L.O.W, and he also played Nature Boy in G.L.O.W. So Matt told me I reminded him of Jane Mansfield. And so I'm from California. I showed up there as blonde, tan. I was a surfer. Not really. I was more of a skateboarder and roller skates and stuff like that. But I was the fun and sun girl from California. So I was really true to my character because I'm from here and I lived every bit of my character.
Yeah.
So they gave me that. And I didn't really have to change much other than keep tanning like Hulk Hogan. So my character was like, right, the female version of Hulk Hogan, pretty much. He tanned as much as I did. It was in our contract. And then I had to get my hair bleached blonde. I had to continue bleaching for the show. Yeah. But other than that, I didn't have to change really anything. I had to add some weight. I had to beef up because I was like 120. They wanted me at 140. So I had to eat a lot of protein, lift some weights. Oh yeah, they pushed me. They're like, Sonny, you're going to get hurt otherwise. And I'm okay, because I'm 5'10". I'm tall, but I'm small boned. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to die. Not only that, I couldn't stand doing handstands. It was just so awkward for me to be upside down in my 20s. When I was a kid, it wasn't easy. I'd rather go run than to be on my head. You know what I mean? So when it came to wrestling, I was like having a really hard time doing handstands or, the awkward things. I'm like, oh God, this is going to kill me. And Matt would make me do it until I got it right. I had to do, I think, 100 handstands up against the wall when we were in training because my legs were dangling. They weren't going straight up. I'm like, help.
Were the other girls, the other women competitive during the tryouts?
Some were, yeah. I think there was the ones that succeeded, like all of us that really made it, were the ones that really wanted it bad enough. I think they think it wasn't going to be that hard, that it was going to be a cakewalk, like you go on audition, you're doing a commercial. I think they weren't actually going to do the moves or the stunts. Little did they know. Right. And so, like I said, it went from 100 to 70 down to 36 girls. Yeah. So, yep.
Speaking of that, were you smartened up to what wrestling was? Did you think it was real competition? I mean, not that you guys, you know what I'm saying. Did you think you guys were really competing, or did you going into it, or did you know what wrestling was?
I did, only because I was raised in it and I watched it, and I always thought wrestling was real back then. When I was 5 years old, watching Freddie Blassie come out of his cage, it was a cage match, and he was swinging from his cage, and he had his cane with him. He cut somebody, he was bleeding everywhere, and I forgot who he was wrestling that time, so many years ago. But I watched so many of them, so to me, they were larger than life. It was real. And it was terrifying. Here I am as a 5-year-old little girl. I'm like, Daddy, he's bleeding. So naturally, full circle, not knowing I was going to be a pro wrestler, mind you, when I was 21, that here I am. I'm like, wow, this really hurts. Wow, this is really kind of real, right? It's pretty real. We had blood capsules. We didn't use razor blades, but we had blood capsules in our matches. It's great. What made it for me was to see all the fans, all the children out there loving the character, loving who we were, like they came alive, rooting for us. And since I was a baby face, I lost all the time. So Sunny was the blonde, the dingy fun in the sun girl, wanted to sing her knock knock jokes. And that's all she cared about. So, I seldom won. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Which is worse because I took the beating. I gave the beating and took the beating only because, again, my height, I was able to pick up a lot and drop, so I got thrown and picked up. Or I got to throw and pick up.
Michael here in the chat room, he says, since you had the UFC training, which I think you might have done after, not before, but he still wants to know if you ever had to shoot with anyone in the ring.
No.
He also says in Queen Kong's autobiography, she says many of the girls didn't get along outside of the ring. Is this true?
You know what? It's not now. Okay, Awesome Kong, or you mean Matilda the Hun?
Yeah, I believe that's what he means, Matilda. Yeah.
Matilda Hun. Okay, so she was in the first season of Glow.
Mm-hmm.
I was the third and fourth season, so we never worked with Matilda.
Oh, okay.
Our season girls were different from the first and second season completely because things changed. David McLean was gone already in our seasons. We had Matt Simber, and he made sure that we were separated at all times, that the public would always see the baby face with the baby face and the heels with the heels. But behind closed doors, most of us got along because Matt wouldn't tolerate it. We'd be out if we didn't. So whether we really got along, we had our little cliques,
Sure.
We had our little likes who we really liked. And then after Glow was over, we all went our separate ways. And most of us didn't talk to each other until 2014, or actually, no, 2012 for the documentary. I think it was 2010. And then 2012, we had the documentary shown. And then 2014, Afterglow was born, that Afterglow hot seat, which brought us back to meeting some of the girls then.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, again, we're all separated and we all live in different states and we're not close now. We have some are friends, some aren't, like I have my best friend, Roxy Astor, which I'm not friends with. I wasn't with her back then or up until 2014. I didn't know her. We all, went our separate ways until then. So we kind of clicked back after we all got back together.
Yeah. So you had no interaction with David McLean then, since he was gone when you were there. Did you have any interaction afterwards?
Yeah, David McLean was there for the third season. He was only there for a couple weeks, so we worked with him there. He was great and nice, but then he was gone. Matt had told him to go. I've had interactions since then with him, with WOW. We see him at WOW. He's a nice guy. He's got a great thing with WOW. I hope it continues after this COVID. I hope they can get it back and going. Yeah. No, I mean, he's a nice guy. I like David. David's brilliant. He did a lot of great things. However, I owe my credit to Matt Simber and the writer, Steve Blance, because they were brilliant, and the owner of Glow, who is passed on, which is Meshulam Rickless. That's who owned Glow. He owned Glow, Fabergé Brut, the hair product. He owned all the colognes back then in the 80s. He owned the Riviera Hotel, where Glow was out of. And he recently passed on. I think he passed on last year. So
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah. That's Meshulam Rickless, the owner of Glow.
Okay. Vince wants to know any memories of Jackie Stallone in Glow.
Oh, yeah, definitely. She's the one that got me into astrology. So she was our manager, and Aunt Kitty was the heel manager. So Jacqueline Stallone was the sweetheart manager, which was us. And she would come in with this little crystal ball and tarot cards, and she would sit down and read our tarot cards. She was so cool. She's like, oh, yeah. Oh, Sonny, I know you're going to have a good day, and you're going to shine so bright. The stars around you, she would say. She was really a sweet lady and so inspirational and so spunky. Just a sweetheart. And I remember that we had Frank Stallone on the sidelines and Sylvester's son, he used to be there when he was a little boy watching us wrestle too. Some really cool memories with the Stallone family. Very, very cool. And I'm so sad we lost her. She had a great life though. I mean, what a blessing to live that, let's face it, 98 and you pass away in your sleep. It's the greatest thing.
Yeah, right? Definitely.
So
what about the Yeah, no, I didn't want to cut you off. I'm sorry, but I was just since I was thinking about the raps. Were they fun to do when you guys would sing?
Oh yeah, always. Yep, we'd have to rehearse those for the commercials and stuff, but it was fun. I mean, they gave us our raps.
Uh-huh.
And like I said, they gave me my knock knock jokes and everything, all my material, and I just had to study it. And then we have our main rap, which we're the gorgeous ladies of wrestling. We're all champions in the ring. We come from the streets. We come from the city. We come from a world where there is no pity. Slam, bam, it's the wrestling jam. Come on, ladies, give us a hand. It's a big, bad battle in the ring. We're going to have fun and do our own thing. Bravo.
Well, sounds like you've sang that a few times since then.
Yeah, thank.
Yep. I was watching some clips today, and I saw you were singing before one of your matches with Beastie. You were singing "You Must Have Been a Beautiful Baby."
Oh yeah, the knock knock joke. Yep. And boy, were they corny when they told me I had to sing, because they would, they asked us what we did or what we want to do in life, and I said, well, I want to be a singer. I'm a singer. I sing in the lounge. I was practicing singing and stuff, and so they gave me knock knock jokes to sing, to make my opponent mad, to come after me. Some corny ones, boy. Yeah, Beastie. We wrestled a lot together. I love her, and she's my friend now. We're close.
Oh, that's very good. Tyler wants to know: did any of the Glow girls date any male wrestlers from any of the other promotions?
I don't know. Back then, no. Nope. We usually, we had the weekends off every other weekend, which was, there was the taping weekend, the next weekend we had off. Most of us would go to whoever, if we're dating someone, I'd go see my mom and dad because I wasn't dating anybody. But some of the girls had boyfriends, and they weren't involved in wrestling. But, we all kind of dispersed and did our own thing on the weekend and come back to the ring. But we really didn't have much of a life outside of that. Right. It was all consumed around Glow. Yep. Morning, noon, and night. Trust me.
Do you know what the other wrestlers thought of Glow at the time? Like, people who worked for WWE or WCW?
Back then it was WWF, and they couldn't stand us. Yep. They couldn't stand us because our ratings were bigger than theirs. We were the Glow. We were the girls that were wrestling. Because mind you, there was no other leagues. There was no other girls. We were the first.
Right.
So when we came out with WWF, and we were on twice, three times, four times on the weekend, and they only had one play, they were hating us. We're like, really? Oh, good. Because we were like, our ratings were going through the roof, from Vegas nationwide. And so WWE couldn't compete, and they were hating on us, all right. But they got over it, and they realized. And now I believe that they appreciate us now. You know what I mean? They get it now. So.
Did you have any? Did you ever try to pursue to go to the WWF?
I did not. No. After I left Glow, I came back to Las Vegas, and I started my own show called Battling Beauties, where I trained the girls. We had a ring built, and it was right off the strip. Yeah, at the Kona Hotel. It was in oil, but it was straight pro wrestling, which was pretty darn difficult to do. Yep. That was my show called Battling Beauties. I was pretty proud of that show. Yeah, and that was a successful, but then I went on and did other things. I was called to go do some bigger deals, and then the smaller hotel act, and so I left. Yeah. We closed it up, and that was it for Battling Beauties. Now the guy who did my wrestling ring was Benny Diamond, who was the referee in Glow, who now has Big Valley Wrestling in Las Vegas, which is Benny Espinoza is his name. So he built my wrestling ring though, and helped train the girls. It was pretty good. It's pretty fun.
What was the? Were you surprised when you heard that Glow was going away, that it was ending?
I was, because at the time we were told that we were going to do the Glow movie. The Glow movie was happening, and we were all excited. So when I returned, I was pretty heartbroken that it had ended, and shocked, actually, and that there wasn't going to be a movie, So yeah, it was pretty sad.
And at that time, like, what did you think? Did you think like, you know, I'm going to go on and do more wrestling? What did you think was going to happen?
With me, I was always a model, and I was a pretty successful model. So I did a lot of magazines, swimmer covers. I was a swimmer model and a runway model and stuff. So I went back into modeling, and in Las Vegas, I did as well. Once I returned, I went into sports, which was NFL calendar. I did the Miami Dolphins, New England Patriots, Rams, and Raiders.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did the posters and all that back then. I had the tight end poster. So yeah.
I'm in Massachusetts,
cool.
So I'm in Patriots country here.
All right. The New England Patriots still going. They're the best. I hate to say. I know some people are going to hate me for saying that, but you know.
Yeah, and you didn't have to take any pile drivers to do the magazines.
No.
That's always a plus,
nope.
I think. Yeah.
Right? Oh yeah.
Brian wants to know, were you upset that they used Sunny for Tammy Citra's name in the WWF?
No, for Tammy Stitch, no, because it was just Sunny. So I was not. My whole title was Sunny, the California girl from Newport Beach, California, the fun and fun girl. So it was a completely different character, even though she came out blonde and kind of the same gimmick, but not at all, you know. Plus, she was a great wrestler. It's a shame what has happened to her, and I still wish her well.
Yeah, I agree. Because I've had her on the show many times over the years, and she's always been very nice to me. So it's always unfortunate to see, you know, how her life's been over the last years. Every time you think she's going to be doing okay, you know, something happens.
Right, I know, and it's really truly sad. So I hope she finds her way. You know, she's a beautiful girl. She had so much going for her, and I just hope so. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't want to see anybody, you know, it was bad enough what happened to China. So I think, yeah, most definitely I want to see her get back on track. Anybody that is in our business, I hate to see him go down, you know, and unfortunately in our business, it happens all too much. And we've lost some great ones, you know. So.
Well, as yourself, you know, you said you got hurt with the pile driver. So I assume you could understand how someone who's, you know, doing that every night, you have to take something to deal with the pain.
Well, yes. After that, I was definitely on painkillers because Matt told me that I had to go back out and wrestle. It was 2 nights off. So he gave me 2 nights. So the third night I was faced again to go back out in front of thousands of people and wrestle Beastie again, knowing what had happened. So that's when you know your psyche is like, oh God, am I going to die this time? This pile driver's coming up again in our match. So, you know, that's where you've got to like just get it out of your mind, get ready and get prepared, and the show must go on. Which we did it, and it was successful. That was the last injury I had, thank God. But I was definitely on painkillers, but not for very long because I'm not good on them. I don't have that tolerance. So I get really loopy. So that didn't work very long for me. But in our business, a lot of people, you know, definitely are having to take it, or not in our business. Just a lot of people are on this opioid, which I stand against because my husband was also on it, and I lost my husband to the opioid addiction.
I'm very sorry to hear about that.
So I'm definitely against all that. I take 2 Tylenol and I get knocked out, if that tells you my yeah. So that night I wasn't feeling any pain in the ring. Beastie could have sat on me for probably 2 hours and I wouldn't have felt nothing. I would have been floating on cloud 9. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to make this show dark or anything, but I know myself. I had the last few years had some health problems. I had 14 inches of my colon removed, and I was on Oxycontin for a long time, and you know they're prescribed to you, but still you have to take something for pain. But long story short, I haven't taken any painkillers or drank anything since February of last year.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Amen to that. That's awesome. That is so awesome. And I'm so sorry that you had to go through that as well. I'm dealing with some situations too there with, I've got to go in for an endo and a colossus. I don't even like to say the word. I get nervous. Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. So I feel you there. My father, my biological father, not my father who raised me, however, which is the one that I loved, I lost in '88. But my biological had cancer everywhere. So I have to go through all these things. There's always red flags,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's good to be
but I'm so happy.
safe. So.
Oh, well, yeah. We got to catch all those things in time, and
Right.
I've already had that scare in January with my implants that I had removed. So I had lymphoma around the casing. My implants were recalled for that. And I was seriously sick, and I continue being sick from the implants, but I fight it each and every day. I have low autoimmune disease, and, we can't let it get you down in anything. You got to keep going. You got to be strong, eat right, eat healthy, stay active, get plenty of sleep, because that's what's going to make us all better. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And our
again,
baby.
since last few years, I've lost almost half my body weight. I was at my heaviest 365. I'm about 185 at the moment. So lost a lot of weight, and I'll say they wanted me to get weight loss surgery, but I wasn't, when I looked into it, I didn't want to. So I changed my diet completely and stay active and reversed
awesome.
all the high blood pressure, cholesterol, and everything. So I'm doing good at the moment.
Great. That's a great testimony. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Good for you. That is really good. Yes, you should talk about that, because that'll help a lot of people out there. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I do talk about it on the show and on my Facebook and social media, and it's weird. There are a lot of people get mad about it, which I don't quite understand. But also, there's the majority of people are happy, and also, like you said, they'll reach out and say that hearing that has helped them with anything in their life. Might not be the exact same thing, but it shows you can change yourself for the better.
Right, I agree. Absolutely.
Stellar Steven here in the chat. He wants to know what was it like doing the Kiss Playboy?
Oh, it was so much fun. Yeah, I really, really enjoyed it. I got to cast the issue back in 90. Well, it was actually 98. 99, the issue came out. So we had over, I don't know how many playmates. And again, it was like 300 playmates we brought in, and there was only, I think, 100 of us that got in. No, not even that. I think it was only like 40, maybe, that got in. And then with the band Kiss, they would look at the girls and give them certain characters. Like, you get to be Jean by the face, by the sculpture of the girl's face and the characterization of the girl. So, yeah, it was pretty fun. I got to be Paul Stanley and Ace Frehley. And I got to cast the issue with Tommy Thayer, who is now Ace Frehley from Black. He was with Black and Blue at one time, and he was the roadie for Kiss. But now he's, he moved his way up, and now he's Ace Frehley. But it was a lot of fun. I've traveled with them. They're like family to me. Uncle Gene is like my uncle. He's not blood related, but we're very close. Yeah, for many, many, many years. So it was so much fun. Yeah, the sets of Kiss were so much fun. I mean, just to wear the rock and roll garb and just to be with them, it was just, I mean, it was a dream come true, all the way around. If you love rock and roll and you love Kiss and, obviously Playboy, all girls want to be in Playboy. At one point they dream about, some maybe not, but, at least it was for me, and that was pretty cool. So.
Yeah. You should have been the valet or the tag partner for the Kiss Demon when they the Kiss Demon in WCW. Yeah.
There we go. I know.
Would have been perfect. So what are you doing now currently? I know you have a lot of things going on.
I have a book coming out and a movie about my life story. So Yeah, I have an autobiography, a book that's being written.
Oh, very cool.
And then a movie. Yeah. And then we have Afterglow stuff that's, going to be out soon. We can't talk too much on it. But I look forward to that, And then I just have my normal life up here on the mountain with my kids, and I'm a grandmother and my 2 grandsons, and I work. I have a talk show called The Brighter Side with Sunny that's coming back because of COVID. Everything has been black, nothing's been happening. So unfortunately, but my show is coming back in November. So stay tuned for that. I'll be on nationwide, my own talk show inside the studio once they open the studios back. And then I have my radio segment every Sunday at 4 p.m. California time on American Adversary Talk Radio. I've been with those guys for 9 years.
Oh, wow, cool.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to reading the book, and it'd be cool to have you back when the book comes out.
Oh, it would be my pleasure, most definitely. I look forward to it.
Very cool. And where can people follow you if they want to see what you're up to? Not like to your house, because they won't be able to find you out there. But
I know. Right? Yeah. Good luck with that. You need probably a pretty big flashlight, and I don't know. Got to watch out for the lions, tigers, and bears. Oh my! I would say you can Google me. It's the best thing, but I'm everywhere because I always say Google me, find me. So I'm on Instagram under Patricia Summerland. I have a fan page on Facebook under Sunny the California Girl, but I apologize, I don't go to it that much because I'm on my personal name, Patricia Summerland, on Facebook. I'll interact with you and talk to you more on that. And then I have Twitter. I'm back on there. I go on and off Twitter. I'm terrible because I don't know what it is with Twitter.
I'm not a fan of Twitter myself, but yeah.
Right? Yeah, I'm not such a big fan of it, but I'm on there. I'm on LinkedIn under Patricia Summerland. So you can find me. I'm on there and I'll talk to you. I love my fans. I love my friends. My fans are my friends now, and I love my family. So you'll catch me on there.
Very cool. And it's funny you said about Google, because I actually always think that when I ask that, I always think to myself, like, why even ask this? People could just Google the person if they wanted to find them. And but a lot of people like to plug, their social media, so I always ask it at the end. But I agree. You could just Google anybody and you're going to find their social media. It's probably easier.
Absolutely. And, you can catch me on American Adversaries. You can go to the website and read about me on there with all the other great hosts. Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, very cool. Well, I appreciate you doing this.
Thank you. I had a good time. I'm sorry we couldn't get the other. I was like all prepared too. I was like, darn it. I'm sitting
next
here
time for the
book.
Yeah, it'll work out for the book.
Exactly. Well, we'll do, maybe it's a laptop. I don't know, but I was having an issue on that too. It was telling me the browser kept saying, you've got to go to one of these browsers, and I would hit it and it still wasn't. It was so weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, well.
Hopefully it's just a glitch.
Yeah. That's right. That's right. Well, thank you. It was an awesome time. And I look forward to doing your show again. You're a great hostess with the mostest, but I'd say host with the most, right?
Right. I appreciate that. Thank you.
And let's do this again.
All right. Very good. Take care.
You too. Have a wonderful evening. Stay cool, stay safe, and COVID free.
Thank you.
Or try to.
Yes. I'll try my best. Yeah.
Bye.
Right.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Well, that was very fun to thank gorgeous lady of wrestling herself, Patricia Summerland, also known as Sunny the California Girl. It was very fun. We were going to do it. We had all planned here to do a video. For some reason, it didn't work out, but we'll have her back here when the book comes out. It'll be fun. I actually have a G.L.O.W shirt, but I could not find it. So it's Halloween time. Wearing the Halloween shirt, but it gives me a little while. I'll find the shirt for the next appearance. Thanks everyone here in the chat. Good stuff. All right, so I'm going to go over some wrestling here in a minute, but I want to thank some of these people here sending stuff in. We got Marquis Dubois, Tyler, Michael, Alan, Rubin, Vince Rudo, Stellar Steven, and a lot of other fine folks, Stephen Butler. If you do $10 or more, sent in here through Super Chat tonight, I will send you an autograph photo myself. I am sorry, it will not be a signed Playboy of me, as Tyler suggested, but it'll be close. It'll be a guys and fries photo. You'll get to see me lounging in a bed with French fries. Might even be better than the Playboy. I need to do an updated one, but I still have some. My idea is I'm going to start doing a series of autographed Jack photos, and each one will be different. So if you send in $10 for the super chat, which helps fund In Your Head and get us some new equipment here and pay for everything, it does take some money to do the show. I'm going to get a bunch of photos printed out, classic photos, new photos. So you won't just get the same photo of me. You'll get a different one every time you donate $10. That's pretty sweet, but it'll be cool because it'll give back. I might get some buttons and some cool stuff too to start giving out for people who donate to the show through the super chat. It'll be fun. I might start auctioning off old Jack t-shirts. Some of them have never been worn, but they're too big for me. So if you're listening and used to wear, and you wear 4X, 3X, 2X, extra large, because I had to keep moving down in sizes, I'm going to start auctioning them off here on the show. Classic wrestling tees. Some worn by me, some owned by me, but not worn. But it'll be fun either way. All right. I'm going to pull up. We had big pay-per-view this Sunday, and I even remembered. Actually, my mom remembered, to be honest. I forgot it was on, but Hell in a Cell. Now, this is a true story. I was texting Inchman, the Incher, about Hell in a Cell. And I get replies back. And he's calling it Heck in a Cell. I'm not even joking. Heck in a Cell. I will not stand for this. Heck in a Cell. Who's he trying to fool? He's trying to act like he's Mr. Prim and Proper. He's just saying heck in a cell. If you're going to call it heck, you can't call it cell then, because then it doesn't even rhyme. You know what I'm saying? Heck on the deck. What would be the anyway? Does anyone out there really think hell is like, it's a bad place, but is it really like a bad word? I don't think so. But anyway, I will not stand for heck in a cell. No, does not work. No, not doing it. Incher, come on, man. Heck in a cell. Embarrassing. All right, so Hell in a Cell. R-Truth versus Trevor Goulash. People listen to never listen to the show before. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But Drew Gulak, R-Truth. I mean, let's be real. No one cared about this match. So R-Truth kept the title. Just look, I actually enjoy R-Truth, but just does anyone find the 24/7 belt still entertaining? All right. So you're doing a Hell in a Cell. There's 7 matches on the show, on the main show. So almost half of them are Hell in the Cells. So you're doing 3 full Hell in the Cells. This is, I mean, you can't do 3 big gimmick matches on the one show, because you got to space them out. You got to make one even more gimmicky than the gimmick already is. It really just takes away. All right, I'm going to get that out of the way. Then you have to open the show with the Hell in the Cell. You open the show with one of the hottest feuds in the show for one of your main titles. It's ludicrous. That being said, well, I'll talk about the match as was. So I thought this match was, I love the build to this match. I love their last match. I love the story. I think it's great storytelling. I think it's they're performing great. Both I think they're really making Jey Uso a star, even though he's getting beat, but I think you're making him a star. Roman Reigns has really elevated his game. I always thought he's a very good wrestler, but didn't have the personality. Not that I thought he was terrible or anything. I just didn't think he had the charisma really to be the top guy. But proven me wrong, really, as a heel, just really taking off. Paul Heyman's always Paul Heyman, great. Okay, so it builds a great match. They go into the finish. If they didn't do the exact same finish on the last show, I would love this. But it's exactly what they did on the last show, and I saw a lot of people loving it. So maybe it's just me, but it's like it's the exact same thing. The guy, he just beats a guy down. It stops really being a match. It's just all about him beating him. Roman beating down Jey Uso, and Jey won't give up. And I get all this, but you just did the exact same thing on the last show. To me, the finish just went way too long. Yeah, the ref just kept saying over and over, Jey, say it over and over. So if I hadn't seen the last match, I probably have thought this was awesome. But I saw their last match, and I don't watch the show. So to me, this is like the very next match I saw with Roman Reigns, exact same finish. Just the same thing over. So I can't really say I loved it because I just thought it was okay. This was a great angle. Let's do the exact same thing again. But at the end, though, he goes out there. Now he's the head of the table. And so Alpha and Seeker out there. And I like that. But I also thought it was very bizarre because they just saw their grandson or is it anyway, they just saw one of their sons and one of their nephews destroy other family members. So the Alpha or Sika has a big smile on it. They're just happy that they destroyed another member of their family, which I thought was kind of odd. But so it wasn't the masterpiece that I see a lot of people saying, at least to me. But this is my personal opinion. Elias versus Jeff Hardy. I'm actually a big Elias fan. This match really wasn't that great. The Miz versus Otis. This match was fun. I like this match. I like Otis. I like the Miz. Not like an epic match, but I don't think the matches need to be, especially without when you're not in an actual crowd anymore. But to me, this was a fun match. Tucker turns heel, which I just think that's the end of Tucky. I mean, I don't see this guy going anywhere as the singles. Otis had all the charisma. This guy, no charisma at all on the mic. Not a great promo. There's just really nothing about him that stands out. No, I'm sorry, but there just isn't. So, I mean, who really wants to see Otis versus Tucker? I assume they'll have a quick feud. And then, honestly, I think Tucker will just be off TV. And, well, I don't think we'd ever see him again. Sasha Banks versus Bayley. To me, this was match of the night. Really, again, this feud was built really well, built for like a year or more. Just a great, one of the best women's matches and I can remember. I've liked a lot of the women's matches in WWE in the last few years, though. But great stuff, really physical. Told a great story. We saw Sasha win the title after Bayley had the belt for over a year, so that adds a lot to it. When you keep the belts on people and you build a feud, it means a lot. And so yeah, this just worked. The story worked. The build to it worked. The match itself worked, and the story after worked. So to me, this was match of the night. Bobby Lashley versus Slapjack. I've never been a Bobby Lashley fan, but I do like the Hurt Business. I do think he's a good fit for it. I like the angle. I like the group. I don't get now their baby faces, I guess, even though they really just, if they're baby faces, I'm fine with that. But you can't talk about because before the promo, MVP was talking about they're all about business and making money. And that's not really a great baby face promo. And then they're even kind of making fun of oh, we're going to wrestle the guy with the goofy mask. It's like when the wrestlers themselves are making fun of how bad the other group is, it's not helping. It's they all look like total buffoons. They all have these silly, corny masks, and they're all kind of jump around looking mean. This is just it's one of the best factions in wrestling right now, and one of the worst of all time, I think. And so I'm just the name Slapjack. Come on. So this was a real short match and couldn't care less about it. Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. honestly, their match is good. It's just hard for me to really get into a Randy Orton and this feud because I only watch the pay-per-views, and it seems like I've seen this match now like a dozen times. Like, how many times do I need to see it? And the last time, from what I understand, was it seemed like it was the blow off to the feud, and then we have another match. It's like we had the blow off, and then it leads to another blow off of the match. And then we have Randy Orton as a champ again. As a standalone match, there's nothing really bad I could say about it. It was a good match. I like the RKO out of nowhere is always cool. But I've seen this match like forever. Randy Orton has not changed at all in like a decade. There's nothing bad about him. He's a great wrestler. He's a good talker. He looks good and everything, but like when you're just the same guy and you don't change at all for all this time, it's just not exciting. And so to him as champ again, and then poor Drew McIntyre, they put the belt on him during the COVID era where you have no crowd, so it really hurt his chance to shine as champion. So, I mean, I can't say I love this pay-per-view. I didn't. But I can't really say like it was terrible either. So it happened. I didn't turn it off and say, God, I'm glad I don't watch this, but it didn't make me want to watch more. But Sasha Banks and Bayley was match of the night for me. What did you think of this show, Steven? I can't hear you, Steven. You're muted. You gotta unmute yourself, buddy.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing.
We got you.
Okay. Going into this show, I was expecting to not like it, but I really enjoyed it. I agree with you that 3 Hell in the Cell matches on one show probably was too much. In fact,
I think even 2 is too much, but 3, I mean, come on.
You could have just made Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso an I Quit match, your standard I Quit match. And
there's no reason for it to be in a cell.
That's right.
Because you even had people come in. You had his brother comes in.
Yeah.
Why did it need to be a cell?
It was basically, as you were saying, a repeat of the previous match. Bayley versus Sasha, I agree with you. That was the match of the night. A lot of intense moves, a lot of intense spots. I don't know what they were trying to do with those kendo sticks.
No, that was when she was putting them across the thing. That didn't work out. But
no,
hey, I mean, everything you do is not going to work. So it didn't really come into play in the match either. So,
but again, I enjoyed that. I thought that too was match of the night. Really impressed. I was wondering what was Randy Orton, what was Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, what was the point of going to the top of the cell except maybe just to get a good visual? There was really no reason for them to go to the top of the cell.
No, this is the thing. We had once Cactus Jack got thrown off the top of the cage. Once Mankind got thrown off the top of the cage. No one is ever gonna top that, nor really should they, because you're gonna like get killed. So every Hell in the Cell after that, whenever they tease going to the top, is always just a setup for letdown. Mm-hmm. Because we know you're not going to top it. So why even pretend you're going to? Yeah, you're just going to let down the audience. When they go up there, you assume you're going to, and then they did take a bump, but like, I'm not saying they should fly off the top of the cage and kill themselves, but when you take that, like the middle of the cage bump to the table, when we've seen the Cactus Jack, Mankind, off the top and through the cage, like it's just kind of a letdown. It's just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. I mean, you're not going to get another one of those spots unless you're Shane McMahon, and he's not going to do that.
Even I don't think his are as good as those either.
No, that's true. But yeah, again, I was trying to catch up to the show, and I fast forwarded through Bobby Lashley and Slapjack. Yeah, you've got a heel versus heel faction, and I've got to say, based on this and Monday Night Raw, Retribution is dead in the water.
It's terrible. It was dead when it started, but I mean, these guys, I don't watch. Then I watch this. I'm like, man, they just like goofs.
Yes, they're being booked as goofs. Even on Raw last night, they were booked as goofs. But I would give it a thumbs up. 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. I really liked Hell in the Cell this year, even though I wanted to ask you, Jack, because you mentioned this before. To me, a red Hell in the Cell is the equivalent of the big blue cage.
Ah, that's a good point. Yeah, it just looks stupid. It looks like a toy.
Yes. Yes.
It doesn't look menacing.
You need a black Hell in a Cell.
You need a black or just steel.
Yeah.
You know, chrome or something like that, but not red. Not bright red. Red's not. It looks like it's plastic.
Yeah.
Before we go too far, before I forget, I'm sorry to interrupt you, Stephen, but caramel pecan roll. This coffee that I'm drinking right here was sent to me by the beautiful, the lovely, the talented Juju of the Bees. Oh. And for Halloween, I'm drinking it right now. All right, go on.
Well, I see we have some other folks here.
We do. We have some good, fine folks here.
So if you want to get their perspectives, but like I said, I'm giving it 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. I really liked Hell in the Cell this year.
Okay. Yeah. How about Phil? Hey, Philip. I've known him for years, but I don't think he's ever called into the show or zoomed into the show.
I've never zoomed in before. How are you?
Very good, thank you. It's good to see you. You got a nice background over here.
Thank you. This is literally outside my house right now.
Oh, interesting. So, what did you think of Hell in the Cell? Or did you even watch Hell in the Cell?
I watched a good chunk of it. I say a good chunk because I had it on, and then I sort of faded in the middle, and I came back at the main event. For the most part, I was okay with it. I thought it did some resolution to some stories. For the most part, ish. I mean, you can't really get resolution on Sasha and Bailey, and I think that's what disinterested me because it's just,
that was the match of the night, was the Sasha Bailey match.
Okay. But it was, to me, the one, I don't know, there was a few elements that were a little bit off for me on that. Just again, because I think mentally I know it's not going to be the end of the rivalry we see between them. The fact that you had what was supposed to be an I Quit match, the first match, and this match also ended by submission. So my brain had this moment of, wait a minute, so
having 3 Hell in the Cells on one show is kind of silly. I mean, not kind, it really is silly. Like it should be like this, the culmination of this blood feud is the Hell in the Cell, because even bigger than a cage, and then you do 3 of them on a show.
Right.
Even though all three of those feuds are big feuds, sometimes they'll have, they really shoehorn something just to be in a Hell in a Cell, but still just having 3 of them on one show is a bit much.
You've never seen those independent wrestling events that's like, we're not going to bother with the cage. It takes too long to take down. We're just going to leave it up for the whole entire night. And every match is a cage match.
Yeah, well, they used to do that in TNA too. The what do they call it? Was it Hard Justice or Lockdown? That's right. And the thing is, like by the middle of the show, you don't even care that the cage. You don't even notice that the cage is there anymore, and they're just all matches.
Yeah.
So anything else going on there, Philip?
Working on the independent wrestling calendar. So wrestlingcalendar.com. I think we're up to 74 events for the upcoming week across the country. So things are, more and more events are happening, even though the majority of events that seem to be happening are in jurisdictions that might also be having increasing COVID cases. So, be cautious, wear your mask if you go to events, be socially distant, or physically distant, I should say. Be safe about it. Yeah. But events are still happening out there, and I'm finding out about more and more every day.
Well, that's very cool. Yeah. What's the website again?
Wrestlingcalendar.com.
All right, cool. I'll remember to plug that on the show too, and check that out.
Thank you.
Yeah. And where can people find you?
You can follow me on all social media platforms at PS Phenom. That's PSPHENOM on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok. If it has a social media platform, I'm probably on it at PS Phenom.
All right, very cool. We'll talk to you soon, Phil. Thanks for zooming in. Philip Stamper is a good guy. Known him for a long time. Let's see. Songman, what did you think of Hell in a Cell?
Well, to be honest with you, I think this, even though it was, as we know, not a good year for everyone, but I do kind of feel like this kind of felt like a match, a pay-per-view of the year once Thunderdome. I'm not saying of the year. I'm saying when Thunderdome.
I like the last WWE pay-per-view better, but I didn't think this was, I wouldn't say this was a bad pay-per-view.
Yeah, well, without a doubt, this is 10 times better than the last one at Night of Champions that barely had anything interesting. So this is way on top from start to finish, even though there wasn't
I actually like Night of Champions better.
Wasn't really big with G.L.O.W and Roman, of course. There wasn't anything big on that, but definitely take your word on Bayley and Sasha. Maybe kind of similar to the main event, but as Steven said, like there was no need for the top. But I think, didn't they actually do this before? When
I actually think that could have main evented the show, the Sasha Bayley match, because the feud's been built up for so long and the match delivered.
Yeah, and Steven said, by the way, like there was any need to go on top of the rope, but on top of the cage. But they did this, don't forget, I believe when the new one was even made, when they were getting ready for Mick Foley to do his speech, what he brings back that people weren't aware of. If you remember.
I noticed they have like little steps now. They've had the holes in the cage for a while, like to use for footprints, but now they have like little like steps in the middle of the cage for the guys to stand on when they were fighting, which I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah, I think
like little platform steps. What do you think of the red Hell in the Cell?
No doubt. Well, it's just like the Devil's McDonald's playground, if you ask me. Every keeps bringing it up. That's what I keep on saying to myself.
Yeah. What if that was a Puzz 3D though? I think you'd dig it.
I would take your word on that one. But there wasn't well, even though we always say that it's not been brutal, of course, over the past decade and everything since it went to PG and to SummerSlam 2008 between Edge and Taker, but I didn't see this that bad after all, because we did see kind of hell of a beating, because like you see probably 2 matches. It was just a joke with the beginning of the opening match, because when I quit inside Hell in the Cell, being like you said, being like a lockdown, just because we had 3 cages in this one.
Mm-hmm.
3 cells.
You're looking good there, Songman. You're all cleaned up.
Oh yeah, definitely appreciate it. Just getting everything set for the new year, and just because I've got to end it within your head to make sure I did your favor to go ahead, take off that beard on top of my head.
There you go. I'm digging it.
There you go.
Oh, the mighty Lexar. I haven't seen him for a little while. You didn't call in last week, did you?
Yes, I did.
Oh well, forget what I said. I see you this last week.
What have you been smoking? Oh,
nothing. I'm just totally. I haven't even had any edibles in months.
Oh, please. Maybe it's that coffee JGB. Maybe the coffee that JGB gave you is like totally blocking your memory from last week.
Could be. I do a lot of video shows, not just here. I do a lot of without your head, so I forget.
Without your head.
And in a few months, I'll be 45 years old. 4 months from now. I'm going to be an old man. 45.
I'll mark it down on my calendar.
Good man. February 19th. I've been contacted by a convention in North Carolina. They want to do the Nasty Neil birthday bash. So I don't know if I really want to be traveling to Charlotte, but it'd be pretty cool.
Just because you'll be turning 45 doesn't mean your birthday gift will be Incha trying to bury you alive, because it doesn't matter if any one of us makes you get stung by a bee in a hive.
There you go. I love it. I could see Incha trying to bury me though. You gotta watch him. So you're gonna help me out, Lexar, if Incha tries to bury me alive?
Like physically or verbally?
Either way, whatever works.
If it's
so you would help me verbally, but you wouldn't help me physically against the Incher?
Maybe I'll use one of Incher's guns to like shoot him. Not trying to kill him because we need
it. Just shoot him in the knee or something.
Yeah, in the arm or something.
Yes, cripple him, but not kill him. Yeah.
And just hit him with a shovel.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you hit him in the head. What? He ain't gonna hurt nothing.
Yeah. He kind of have a brain of a chicken sometimes.
Exactly. That's exact good way to. I like that quote. Vince Rudo, write that in the Facebook group. The brain of a chicken.
on Nintendo 64 brain damage from the Nintendo 64 remaining.
The mind of madness, as people said on the instrument. So what did you think of the show, Lexar?
I thought it was better than last year, but I think the main event should have been either the women's Hell in a Cell or Roman versus Jey Uso. I mean, the Roman and Jey Uso was like very emotional.
I agree with that. I just think it was like the exact same, really, as the last one. You know, where he's just beating him down. But I do agree it's done well. It's just so similar to the last one. Is all for me.
Yeah, the Wild Samoans showing up at the end with the Leo on his head. It was awesome. I just wish Rikishi would like come from behind and beat up the Wild Samoans.
That'd be cool. You get them all in there.
Yeah, Samoans family speed fight for Survivor Series.
Are you related to the Samoans?
Who?
You?
Joe? No, I'm not Samoan.
Oh, okay.
I'm Latino. Anyway. And yes, I think the Hell in a Cell, the red Hell in a Cell should have been, it would be good if it were with color, if somebody would blend in the Hell in a Cell.
But it would just blend. It would blend right in. That's another reason not to do a red Hell in the Cell, because if they do bleed, it'll just blend right into the cell.
Exactly.
There's no contrast.
Or like you said, it could have been a 3D. They could do this at night with the 3D lighting up for a red if they want to do it like that.
There you go.
They did that last year.
They should do a glow stick cage.
They did that last year. With the Fiend. Yeah, with the Fiend and that red lighting hue.
Oh God.
And then
there was no Fiend on
that,
the
by
show,
the way.
there?
Thank God we saw Serious Rules after what we remember last year. That's all we remember from Hell in a Cell being a DQ.
So I didn't watch Raw, but I saw the names listed for like the women's Survivor Series, and I was thinking, wow, is this a bunch of goofs? Bunch of jobbers. You got Lana. Why is Lana like a main eventer now? Like who thinks she's any good at all as a wrestler? Like Lana, Dana Brooke, and
Mandy Rose.
I like her, but
yeah.
Nia Jackson, Shayna Baszler.
Yeah, I like Shayna.
But yeah, so they did the same thing again. They have Lana win the won the thing, opportunistic, but then she got put through a table again.
Is she a baby face now or what? I don't understand what's going on.
I think so.
Well, I think
because I heard Meltzer or somebody saying that Vince McMahon thinks her getting killed every week is going to make her into a baby face. I don't watch the show, so I don't know what the hell's going on. Is Dana Brooke and Lana like improved a lot as wrestlers? Because anytime I've seen them, they've been in the pits.
No, I think they do a terrible job booking these women, and Mandy Rose is the star of that tag team, not Dana Brooke.
Yeah, of course.
She's just along for the ride. But Lana, I don't know. I think you're right. I think it's just because Vince McMahon, he likes Lana. He likes
blondes because this whole group's blonde. Well, then you got a couple of big people. But when I watched Raw the other week, it was when I reviewed it because you paid me the moolah. It was all blonde women.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that tag team match, that was all blonde women. Yeah, but no, I don't think Lana is supposed to be a baby face. I just think she's just supposed to be a punching bag. Every week she gets beat up, and unfortunately, we're going to get her on the Women's Survivor Series tag team match, the elimination match. And I'm predicting it right now. Lana's gonna get pinned. Nia Jax is gonna get pissed off. She's gonna grab her, take her over to the announce table, and Samoan drop her. I expect that to happen. So,
Songman, you have any Samoan in you?
No, not for me. No.
Yeah, no.
Who's it? We got Carol Crockett coming on the line here. I think he might be Samoan. What about Raw? So what did you guys think of Raw? You guys, Steven's talking a little bit about it. Was this an epic show?
Alexa Bliss got brand new theme music.
Oh, yes. And
Ah.
moment of
Now,
bliss.
was she a witch now? Is she Sister Abigail or what's going on?
Well,
I think so.
I would assume that she is sort of the resident witch of Monday Night Raw now. She seemed to have a good time watching the main event segment with
She should be
Randy
called
Orton,
Tammy Witch.
Drew McIntyre. Just sitting on the top turnbuckle, laughing her head off as Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre beat each other up. Although Randy Orton, he did the thing where he knew the Fiend was behind him, but he didn't act like Seth Rollins, like he was scared to death of him. He just kind of decided to fight. Well, instead, I'm going to fight Drew McIntyre instead of the Fiend. And I guess, they're going to recycle the Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt Fiend match that, as I can recall, that one had like a projection on the ring. If you remember that that match that started at the Wyatt compound.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess they're going to have a rematch, or that's going to be a feud. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, doesn't the Fiend kind of have like the Psycho Sid era against Steven? Like, you remember back during his days, he would go back and forth to a face and heel. Do you think that's kind of what Bray Wyatt is turned into with his Fiend character?
Yeah, they want Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt is being booked as the babyface in this time around because he was the heel last time and Randy was the good guy. And
yeah, I don't think those kind of ideas work. The idea where there's like in one feud the guy's a heel, and the next feud they're a baby. It's like they don't actually turn heel or baby face. It just depends who they wrestle. I don't know. I don't agree. I do think it's now what makes a baby face or heel is different today. Like, you can't just be the baby face, goody. But like during the Austin era, people, I think, wrongfully say he was a tweener, where he was clearly the baby face of the show. He was the guy you rooted for. Now, he wasn't a goody who did no wrong. He still, beat people up and stuff, but he was presented as the hero of the show. And I still think you need that. You need the hero and the villain, not these, you don't even know what they are. Or they still know it's just one week, if they're feuding with this person, they're hero. If they're feuding with this person, the villain. I don't think that really works.
Mm-hmm.
It could work every once in a while, but not like for the whole show.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not digging it. Man, we got Carol Crockett here. What's going on?
Oh, what's going on? Can you hear me good?
Can hear you. Loud and clear.
Cool. That works for me.
How's it going? Haven't heard from you for a little while.
Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah.
Everything
I've been
going
listening
well?
to the show. Oh yeah. I've been hanging in there.
Yeah,
I've been
it's
hanging
good to hear
in there.
Care Bear's doing well.
As long as you can hear me.
Yeah. So, all right. Anything else anyone wants to say about Raw or SmackDown? Because I didn't watch any of them.
Oh.
Well, I gotta tell you, the Survivor Series is like a throwaway pay-per-view right now.
Really? It's one of the big fives.
Yeah, fours actually.
The symbol of excellence. Survivor. Why are you saying this is a throwaway show?
Because it's now bragging rights with Raw and SmackDown. They turn it into bragging rights. And the rest of the card had been revealed last Monday night.
Isn't it like champions versus champions, but they're not really for the titles? That doesn't work for me either.
You got it.
Who wants to see that?
But right now,
and team.
Be right back.
And Team Raw versus Team SmackDown for men and women.
That's fine. I'm good with that. But I would rather if you I like the traditional Survivor Series where you put the feuds together. Why not just do that?
I kind of feel bad every now and then, ever since they had that long issue with the hiatus between COVID. I'm kind of surprised since last year they've not done anything with UK, because they've not added them to this thing because of how long this has been going on for months for them to come back. So I'm kind of sad they're not putting Walter, Kaylee
Why
Ray,
isn't there the Hurt Business versus Retribution?
They had that last night.
But isn't that built into Survivor Series?
Yes, that should have been a Survivor Series match, or that could have been, could have been something. But
you would
instead,
think
they booked again. Retribution sucks. Last night they had an elimination match, like basically a Survivor Series match, 1-by-1. Retribution and the Hurt Business fought each other, and Ali. Oh my God. I think Vince McMahon hates this man. He loses by disqualification.
Who?
Against and wouldn't you know it, the only guys from the Hurt Business who got eliminated in that match were MVP and Bobby Lashley. They eliminated those two guys first and left Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. Now, I like Shelton Benjamin. I've always liked Shelton Benjamin.
Yeah.
But
I like the group. I like actually the whole Hurt Business works for me.
Yeah. But like, and what you were saying before about baby faces and heels, it's really
they're heels now. They're they're baby face against this team.
They're natural heels, but they're being booked as baby faces against Retribution. But
and they don't change them at all. They talk about like money, and it doesn't work.
No, that's why this whole thing is hard to get into at all. And the sooner it's over, the better. Like move the Hurt Business on.
Do you think anyone out there's like, man, I'm just a big fan of Slapjack? Lexar, are you buying a Slapjack shirt?
No. I don't think there is a Slapjack shirt.
No. I saw they're bringing back Sin Cara, and I thought, why? Like, why would you bring back, is anyone dying to see Sin Cara?
I want to see the return of the Sin Cara penis shirt.
That is an epic t-shirt. I wonder if you can get that on eBay, like if anyone has it for a lot of money. We should do a design of that and call it the Lexar tee. The Sin Lexar.
Lexar.
Someone else will get to work on that.
Like the penis will be touching a woman's buttocks.
Exactly. Steven would wear that around around Butlertown.
Inchman.
Yeah, I could see Inchman wearing it. His parents would be happy. All right, I've got to say this. I unfortunately couldn't do the Jackie Jones show last week because I wasn't home, and I know this has split everyone, and I knew it would. I personally love Dinner Debonair. It's totally ludicrous, but it made me smile, and I laughed out loud during it, and I was entertained, and that's all that I care about. It was very funny and totally batshit crazy. The just in a wrestling show breaks out and they into a dance and song number, and I was like, hell yeah, this works for me. So I enjoyed it, and I'm glad Steven giving it the thumbs up as well.
Yes, I got a break with good old Jim Cornette. I enjoyed that. I was laughing my head off watching that, and
I agree. And I've been doing it. Go on, and then I'm going to say something.
Yeah, wrestling, you got to enjoy it. Wrestling, you got to have fun with it. That was fun.
That was the thing, because I listened to the Cornette thing too, and he was, and like both him and his lackey there, he's like, you guys can enjoy this, but we'll think you're, idiots or whatever. And I'm thinking like, they'll talk about like non-wrestling fans will think you're stupid if you like that. But let's be honest. If you talk to someone who's not a wrestling fan and they're like, well, watch this, it's silly, it's funny, and they'll be like, oh yeah, do you think they're going to think you're stupid for that? Or do you think they'd think you more stupid if you're like, I think wrestling is deadly serious. I take it, it's life and death stuff. It should be presented as, this extremely serious thing that I take personally. They're going to think you're the goof if you take wrestling like totally serious. And so I've been doing an experiment. I sent that video to several friends of mine that either used to watch wrestling back when they in the day, like in the 80s or the 90s, or never watched wrestling. Universally, all of them found it hilarious. And that's another thing, because I hear Jim Cornette and some other old wrestlers, and their thing is this will be entertaining to this audience, but no one else will like it. No non-wrestling fan will like it. Two things there. I said this before in the show. When I was in Chicago, all of Chi-Town Matt's friends were WWF fans. They didn't know a lot of the AEW guys. Universally, their favorite was Orange Cassidy. My brother at work, he works with guys who will watch wrestling every now and then, but aren't like hardcore wrestling fans at all. All of them, when they watch it, Orange Cassidy is their favorite. I've interviewed people on Without Your Head the same way. The thing is, Jim Cornette and these other wrestlers, they say this, but how would they possibly know what a non-wrestling fan would be into? These people live their whole lives in the wrestling business. And Jim Cornette's like 60 years old? Like, how does he know what a 25-year-old non-wrestling fan likes? He has no idea, and that's not even a knock on him. Why would he know that? So, and you people always talk about Meltzer will say his opinions as facts. This is what Jim Cornette does. He'll say, this guy's not over, this guy sucks, this guy, no one likes this, but like this, that's his opinion. It ain't fact. And if you cannot like something, that's fine. But to say no one else does when they clearly like it is just wrong. And anyway, I liked it. I had a good time. And we're way past the point where any fan is going to tune into wrestling and think it's an actual simulated sport. That's not going to happen in 2020. It's just not going to happen. So if you have something that people enjoy, why not try something new with wrestling? And this is something new. You get some goofy stuff on there. I know it's goofy and I know it's weird, but it entertains me. You can't do this all the time. You can't have like people break into dance like every week, but a standalone thing, I loved it. All right. Anything else you want to say about AEW, Steven? I thought it was a good show.
Oh yeah.
I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. Continuation of the another thing I see a lot of people say it's like obvious who the finals are gonna be of the tournament. But to me, that's totally fine because you build up feuds for a reason. And if all the matches culminated in matches that you weren't looking forward to or didn't care about or didn't see coming, I don't think that's great storytelling. But if you had a tournament that leads to matches you actually have been building to and want to see, I think that's a better idea.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Well, no, I was gonna, well, first of all, it says here, according to Wiki, Jim Cornette is 59 years old.
So I'm 1 year off.
Yeah, you're 1 year off. But he turned on the
He's
big
almost a
60.
60-year-old man. How does he know what the hell anyone else watches or is into?
Yeah, he's with that one. I mean, like I said, I'm looking forward to tomorrow night, the tournament and that. So, but do you think they've set the bar kind of really high, or do you think they're going to try to top it, or do you think they're just going to move on to
because they have the tomorrow night with Jericho and MJF, it's the State of the Union address or something like that. So yeah, I don't think you could do another dance number. So I have no idea what they'll do. I think you'd have to. This will probably be a little not quite over the top as that. I don't think anyway. It'll be entertaining though. It's hard for those two guys not to be entertaining, I think. All right. We got the questions here from the Headyverse we're going to go to, unless someone else has something else to bring up before I get to them.
Well, I'm ready for NXT Halloween Havoc special tomorrow night.
There you go. That's another, yeah.
And the return of Spin the Wheel, Make the Deal.
That's very cool. I'm a huge Halloween Havoc fan. I always love Spin the Wheel, Make the Deal. I was always surprised that they didn't bring it back more often. I'll be watching AEW, but I'll probably watch the NXT show after.
I just wish they don't have like a digital wheel. I want an actual wheel.
There you go.
Johnny Gargano and Candice LeRae can actually spin.
I had the prize wheel over here. I should have brought it over here, and we could have
spin the prize wheel and make the deal.
There you go. Maybe we'll do that next week.
Do it.
All right.
Maybe Steven could pay you lots of dollars for the prize wheel too.
It doesn't have to be Steven, but people can send some money, help me pay for the shipping to send the prize out. All right. Here we go. Brian Jones wants to know if I'm upset that Tammy Stitch stole my name. As far as I know, Tammy Stitch does not call herself Jack or the Internet Icon or Pride of the Pilgrims. So I'm not really sure what's going on there. Dobbs wants to know, why is it so difficult to find an empty box? Is there a box shortage in the UK, maybe? We have a coin shortage here. Maybe they have a box shortage. Or is he being naughty? I don't know what's going on here. Vic Shimoni, how many weeks in a row will Lana go through a table before they put an end to this stupid gimmick? I guess that's like how many licks it takes to get to the center of a Tootsie Roll.
Yeah.
All right, it's one I wanted to bring up. So Nikhil says Hannibal has an AEW invoice that shows people like Meltzer and Alvarez on the AEW payroll. Do you think it's legit? I do not think it's legit, because I actually listen to Meltzer, and he's lots of times has said negative things about AEW. People seem to think he never does, which isn't true. And also, if you paid attention to Dave Meltzer over the years, you would already know that he's a big fan of most of these guys' ring work. He's always been a fan of the Young Bucks and Page and guys from Pro Wrestling Guerrilla and stuff. So it's not anything different from stuff he's always liked. And he's also been critical and stuff on AEW he hasn't liked. So I think I don't know. I think there is this weird thing amongst a lot of people who want to hate AEW. Even if, I'm not saying you can't dislike it. You can not like it if you don't want to. But there's also a built-in people that don't want it to succeed and think that anyone who does like it, they have to be paid off by or something. And I think that's strange. So no, I don't think, because I saw some of the names on it, and there's like what? So Brian Alvarez, Total Divas, like why would they be paying Total Divas? Doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't buy it. But Hannibal's I don't dislike him. He's one of those guys that really want AEW to fail for some reason. I don't quite. If you don't like it, I would just think you just don't watch it. But are you excited for FTR versus the Bucks at Full Gear? Definitely. I think they're building up Full Gear to be quite a loaded show. Are you looking forward to Team Raw versus Team SmackDown in Survivor Series? I'm not sure who's in them, but I saw the women's one and of the names, and I was not too excited about that.
AJ, Sheamus, and I can't remember the other person, but on the men's side for Raw, but I can't remember the third one. But AJ and Sheamus, I think, are two of them. Sheamus beat Matt Riddle, AJ beat Jeff Hardy, and I'm blanking on the third person that qualified last night. But
would you like to see Randy Orton versus Edge at WrestleMania for the title?
Okay, so That would mean someone's got to get that belt back, or is that just going to be just a basic one-on-one?
Well, Orton has the
when
belt.
Edge returns.
Orton
has the belt, so he'd have to keep it to WrestleMania.
Oh, you have to keep it. That's right. So Edge would have to win the Royal Rumble then.
Yeah. Orton has to defeat the Miz because he's Money in the Bank, and he brought the history of him defeating Randy Orton 10 years ago.
The thing is, wasn't Orton and Edge already? Wasn't it at this year's WrestleMania? Yep. I just think you bring back a legend like Edge, and you have all these new dream matches that we've never seen before, and there's like a limited amount of Edge matches we're going to get, and we're getting matches we've seen a decade ago.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm just kind of curious, what do you think is going to be better for him? Because we know for sure he's a big famous expert at TLC. So you think he's going to return? We're not sure yet.
I don't think it would be smart. I mean, he's already coming off an injury that put him out of wrestling. They thought forever, and then he comes back and gets injured again. I don't think it'd be smart to put him in a TLC match.
Yeah, I take your word on that. I'm
not saying I wouldn't want to see it, but I don't think it'd be very smart to do with him.
Yeah, I don't even know what's left for the Miz. Like you. So I don't know what's going to be left.
I know
like
he wasn't even ready when he cashed it in last that's time. Another heel versus heel, Miz and Orton.
Yeah,
that's true. But I do like the fact that they took that briefcase away from Otis and gave it to the Miz. I kind of like that decision at the pay-per-view for Tucker. I mean, yeah, I think Tucker is a dead man walking.
Yeah, maybe that'll be the main event of WrestleMania: Tucker versus Otis.
Well, maybe, yeah. Unless they end up on Survivor Series teams or a TLC match or something. But Tucker's days are numbered.
Yeah, now, see that would be a fine thing to put in, in the Survivor Series. You're part of a team where they're few, but that won't be because it's Raw versus SmackDown.
Yeah, but I like the fact that you have Miz, The Fiend, Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, and I would even put AJ in there. You do have definitely. At least there's a lot of good main event potential to change things up at least.
Oh yeah, I mean that would be a match I'd like to see: Edge versus AJ Styles.
Yeah,
that we've never seen before.
Yeah. So before he retires, you'd like Edge to kind of get in with some of these other guys and see what you can do. Rather than Randy Orton for the 6th, 8th, 100th time. So
AJ Styles has that bodyguard from Raw Underground.
Yeah, he's a giant dude. He's a big man. I think he might be on the line here. Antoine, are you AJ's bodyguard?
No. What's up?
How's it going?
Doing good. I know the pay-per-view that was just this past Sunday, so that was awesome.
Yeah, Hell in a Cell. What was your favorite match from Hell in a Cell?
My boy Randy Orton became 14-time world champion.
Oh, you're a big Orton fan.
Oh yes, his childhood. Yeah. He gonna. I told all the Randy Orton haters he was going. They just hating. I said, hey, forget the haters. Hey, my boy, I just rubbed it into my friend's face who hate on him. He kept talking that trash, and Drew gonna win. See, he lost this time. See, he screwed my boy in the last pay-per-view at Clash of Champions. Him, Flair, Christian, and Big Show, and Shawn Michaels.
RKO out of nowhere.
Oh, that's right. And my boy, he climbed up all the way up top of that cell. Hey, I wish I was at the last pay-per-view. I would have helped my boy out.
Have you signed up to be in the? Have you any of you guys signed up to be in the Thunderdome?
Oh, I haven't did it yet. I was good. I'm gonna do it next time. Monday. I'm gonna do it. It'll be my first time. I tried to, but you got to do it before. So right. Monday I'll do it for the first time, and then soon I'll be a WWE superstar in the future.
Oh, you're trying to be a wrestler?
Yeah, I'm going to Ring of Honor once this pandemic over.
Oh, that's very cool. Good luck with that.
Yeah, thank you. You know, I can't wait for that. It's been my dream since I was in a little boy in elementary school.
Oh, nice. That's very
You
cool to
know,
hear. Do you have any
yeah.
idea of what kind of character you'd like to be?
Well, you know, what you mean, like what, like the
Like a
good guy, bad
name?
guy?
Yeah,
Oh,
or like what kind of name you want?
yeah, I already came up with my wrestling name. I just got my nickname. I just got all I gotta do now is get my wrestling attire soon and all that, and I'll be good. I'll be good to go. And I'm gonna have and then too, I'm gonna have the zombie face paint.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, for my character, and I'm gonna be the bad guy.
Wrestling
The
zombie.
heel.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be I'm gonna be big time and one day main event WrestleMania one day. My childhood dream.
Awesome. Well, good luck
Yeah.
with that. That's very
Oh
good.
yeah,
Happy
and
for
one
you.
day, thank you. And one day be on the wall in Madison Square Garden, my dream arena to wrestling one day.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I
That'd be
want to
great.
be in there with all the athletes in all sports. All be all on the wall. One day be a household name.
Oh, very good. Awesome.
Yeah, and hopefully, once I do get there too, I'm gonna come up with some more ideas. I heard too that Triple H was thinking about bringing back the Attitude Era. I would love
Yeah,
this.
is that the era that you grew up with?
Oh yeah, that and because when I first got into wrestling, I was a little kid during the Attitude Era. So my favorite two eras, the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era, the two eras I grew up in.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, those my favorite two areas, and so that's when I sing to my favorite female wrestler, Trish Stratus, in childhood crush and wrestling.
Hey,
So
I'm up with that.
Steven's getting excited there.
Hey, Trish.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Trish is from Toronto. I gotta stand up for her, And I met Trish. Yeah.
I never shoot her. Oh man, I used to when I was a kid. I used to kiss the TV every time I see her.
Oh.
My childhood
Lexar
crush.
was rubbing the TV when he'd see her.
Shoot, yeah, I got some shirts of her too, and all that too, and she always been one of my childhood crushes. Her, so and same too, with my other crushes, Shanti too in music. So I'd be good. They both mine, so favorites, and so I've been to the events. I haven't been. The last event I've been to was 2013, and Randy was in the main event. He was the world champion. He was in the Authority.
Mm-hmm.
And the Shield. And I know he competed. I think he competed 2 times. I know he went against Big E, and then I know it was him and the Shield versus Big Show in a 4-on-1 handicap match in Greenville, South Carolina, and then. That was when Tyson Kidd returned from injury, and gosh, and that was when what else happened? I think that's when Total Divas first came out too. I missed that show too, but it stopped coming on now, and I know I can't wait for the I know new game supposed to be coming out next year. I got Battleground. That game pretty cool.
Yeah.
That game. Yeah, I'm playing it right now. That game is pretty cool. They reverse so much every time I try to lift them up. That piss me off. I'll be like, I know they coming out with WWE 2K22 or 21 next year. Man, I see the preview of it. It look awesome. I know. I just hate that. I know like with 2K20, all the glitches. I know all the glitches always freeze up. I'm like, oh my god. Like, oh man, I know some people pissed that it freeze up all the time on there. And I got something too. I got a bunch of WWE DVDs I had from child. I got a bunch. I got all of them stacked. It's so piled up. It's so much from I even got some from the PG or two now, and ruthless aggression and attitude there. So I hopefully that that those eras come back. But see, ever since WWE went PG for what Benoit did back in 2007 in the summer, yeah, it was just I just got it ain't like it used to be. You know what I mean?
I know.
Yeah, I was like, oh man. And I remember I ordered that pay-per-view back then. That he was supposed to show up at a Vengeance, but he didn't show. And I ordered so much, I even ordered just to see Trish Stratus' last match at Unforgiven in 2006.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so in her hometown of Toronto. So
yeah, I was there live.
You was in Canada that night.
I was at ringside to watch that match, and I loved it. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was like, oh yeah, man. I still miss it to this day. I was like, I was about 12 at the time. Yeah, I was 12. Man, and bring back. Yeah, I was like, oh man. I was like, I said, I miss my baby. I was like, oh man. Miss hearing her when I heard her music. I was like, yeah, jump out of my seat. Yeah, man, I miss her. And, that's why I'm waiting to play with her on Battleground. But yeah, downloadable character on there. I'm ready to play with her on there. But I'm waiting for it to show up on my Battleground. So I'm ready to play with her. I got some. I had so many old games, but I don't still have like some of my childhood games, like from SmackDown. Here Comes the Pain during my childhood, and Shut Your Mouth and SmackDown versus Raw in 2006. I know I got it for the PSP. I know that I got so much old games too that I'm not on the 2 but the PSP version, and I just miss playing those other games, man. Shoot, I wish it was gonna be on the PlayStation 5 because the PlayStation 5 coming out next month.
Right.
But man, so I will see for sure. But some people say that you can't play the old PlayStation games on it. So I was like, oh dang. I was like, oh shit. I was like, man. But I got so much stuff, man. I'm a diehard fan. I even got the Real Money in the Bank briefcase too, and I got I got the wrestler ring bell, the real ring bell. I got that too. You heard it.
Sweet. All right. Well, Antoine, we will talk to you soon, and good luck on your dream of becoming a WWE superstar.
Thank you. Thank you.
Take care, my friend.
Oh, one more thing, my buddy John, he on here too. Talk to him too.
Yeah, the Songman.
Yeah, the Songman John. Yeah, he had told me that y'all be doing the Zoom thing, and I said, oh yeah, I'm gonna join in it to talk to.
It's good to meet a fellow friend of the Songman. A friend of the Songman is a friend of ours.
Well, hopefully we can talk in person soon. Be a guest in person.
Gotta get the Songman to work on your theme song.
Yeah. Well, just make sure when you hang up, don't shake your head because you made your debut for In Your Head. And just so you know, Jackie Jones will be mailing you some nice fresh bread.
What's up, John?
Hey, what is up?
Yeah, man, I'm just I had a good time, man, talking to y'all, and I can't wait for this freaking pandemic to be over with, man. Shoot, I cannot wait, man. I just feel like, shoot, man, oh man, just beating. I feel like beating the president up that bad because he want to have this. He don't want to hide this crap in the first place. And I was getting ready to do my career, man. It pissed me. I just been working out every day, ready to win championship gold.
All right. Well, we'll see you soon. Keep on working out, getting those muscles pumped.
I will, man. I will. All right. Take care, buddy.
Take care.
Take care out, Macklin.
All right.
See you. All right. Very good. Yes, by the way, as Vince mentioned, for Antoine and everyone there watching here live on YouTube, hit the subscribe button And also hit that little bell icon, not the internet icon, but the bell icon. And you'll get a notification every time we go live and every time there's a new show that pops up. Lexar, you're subscribed, aren't you?
Yep.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm not.
What the hell are you doing?
I'm not surprised of that join you just did while Antoine was talking.
Oh,
I do not look like that. I look like Dexter Loomis. That looks like Dexter Loomis. That looks like Dexter Loomis.
I did make the nose a little big, so I tried to shade it a little bit to make the nose a little smaller.
That's Dexter Loomis.
I don't know. Dexter Loomis doesn't have a CBS Sports sign behind him.
That doesn't look like me. That doesn't look like me.
I don't know. We'll have to take a poll and we'll see. I'm gonna ask the Headyverse out there. Maybe will someone make a poll on the Facebook? Does my picture resemble our man Lexar here? That's the first doodle I've done of an in your head listener. You're the first one, first Headyverse member.
Great.
I might do that every week now. Maybe
do one adventure.
Yeah, well, I don't want to do too many at once. So next week, there's something to look forward to. I'll auction this off.
Oh boy!
If someone wants to buy it, I'll sign it.
You have to give me a couple, half of the share, half of the money.
I don't know.
Because you know.
For your likeness, you're going to sue me for selling your likeness.
You got it. I'll take it to the people's court. Or the oldest or old law.
Oh, the oldest court. What is that called?
Well, we gotta get JBL as the judge.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. Hoosier Highway says draw Lexar like your French girls. Oh, Hoosier Highway. He's always drawn the ladies. I see him on the Twitter machine. Are you looking? We did that one. Would you like to see? We did that one. The Miz and Orton were both Money in the Bank and WWE Championship, this time 10 years ago. Interesting. Does this show WWE failed to build stars if they're repeating the situations again? Yes. No, I don't think so much of building stars, but it's like not really kind of just repeating the same creative storylines.
But do you think Miz was even ready back in 2010? Because
he'd probably be more so ready now, honestly.
Yeah, he's been a bigger name right now.
I actually like The Miz. Where do you think this Jericho and MJF storyline is going? I think MJF will end up being the new leader of the Inner Circle, and I think Jericho will have a babyface. Tyler he's wants to buy this for $5 Canadian. This portrait of Lexar.
How much is that in American? Half of it.
Probably about $3. You'd probably get like $1.50. We need to get the bids up higher than that.
Yep.
Are you happy to see the Bollywood brothers return to 205 Live? 205 Live still exists? Who the hell watches that?
Not me.
I only watch it if I'm at the show, but since we're in a pandemic, I haven't seen it.
Yeah, I didn't think it still even existed.
Here, Jack. Here's $5 Canadian right here.
He's got like those like pocket change over here.
Yep.
I saw that there was WWF scratch tickets up in Canada somewhere.
I haven't seen any in my local store. I wouldn't know where they are.
If you see them, get one for me. I'll pay you for it. Will you watch Halloween Havoc tomorrow? I'm going to watch AW Live, but I would like to see Halloween Havoc. I like Halloween Havoc.
Yeah.
I like the Halloween Havoc shirt too. Do you think WWE realized putting Otis as Money in the Bank backed them into a corner? No. I mean, he could have cashed it in. I mean, there's no reason why he couldn't have. What do you find more emotional, Cody versus Dustin at Double or Nothing, or Roman Reigns Jey Uso matches? Interesting. I mean, Cody versus Dustin for me is better, but I mean, the Roman Reigns Jey Uso stuff's great. So I mean, it's pretty emotional stuff. That's a good quote. It's a tough one. Both good things. I guess the Roman Reigns Uso stuff, because that went longer though. You know, he really just had the one match with Cody and Dustin. Cody versus Orange TNT title. Who's winning the match? Yeah, it's another interesting one. That was another thing I saw Jim Cornette losing his mind over. But it's just like, I mean, if he was booking it like, you know, Orange would just be a total job guy, but like he's really over. So I think it's been booked well. I would actually like to see Orange win the title, but it's like so soon after Cody won it. So I don't know if he'll do that. But I'm interested. That's a match I really don't know who will win. Do you feel the AEW titles are treated correctly and made into a big deal? Yeah, I think so. I think they protect the titles pretty well. Actually, very well, honestly. I mean, we've only had one title change for the world title, and only a couple for the other ones. Yeah. Jerry Vitetta wants to know, how big is your penis? He didn't ask who. Dobbs Dean Maya says, I like women. So my question is it wrong to like women who were men once? I don't care what anyone likes, as long as it's, you know, between mutual adults. Have at it. Be happy. I don't care. Dobbs wants to know, want to snort some cocaine after the apocalypse? I've never done cocaine, actually. Naturally pretty energetic. You ever snort the coke there, Lexar?
Nope. Never had coke. Never had weed. I never had speed. I like to try one of those, like maybe weed, because
Really?
I hear it's like good.
Stick with that. That's you don't want to be doing cocaine or
it's just I feel like weed is a safer drug than
I don't even consider
than other drugs.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing the other stuff like so. Stay away from the heroin, and don't you want to turn out like Tazo and start doing crack.
Oh no, never. I never want to be like Tazo at all.
Exactly. That should be the poster boy, like for kids. Like, you want to do drugs, you're gonna look like you're gonna turn out like this guy. No one would ever start.
You should post that in your head.
That's a good idea.
You should post that message on.
That would be a good video, a good PSA video to play throughout the show.
Yeah. I got a question for the Headyverse. This one for Stevie, Toronto Stevie. Was he horny when he met Trish Stratus? And was his girlfriend at that time jealous?
Well, I was married at the time. And
yeah, but he asked about your girlfriend.
Oh no, her phone number is unlisted. No, this is a loaded answer. I was really excited to meet Trish Stratus because actually Trish and Lita, the besties, were appearing in Toronto, and I met one right after the other, and but Trish was there with her child, so like it was a very nice time meeting her. And I told her about the Unforgiven match that I watched her live, and looked at her Hall of Fame ring, and looked at Lita's Hall of Fame ring too. And it was double your pleasure, double your fun encounter with the besties.
So you got a picture with them?
Very good.
Yes, I actually do. If you want to see it, I can go and get it.
Sure. Load it up.
No,
Do it up.
Uh,
Lexar, you ever get horny meeting any of the wrestlers?
well, I met Paige, and I got a little bit
okay.
horny, bit. Playboy Stevie.
Trish has bleached her hair blonde again, I think, since that picture was taken.
No, I was just gonna say that.
Yeah. But she was smoking hot, I'll tell you, live and in person, right up close. Trish Stratus is so smoking hot.
Well, she probably had your eye on you, Steven, before she even met you. I gotta get my hair like his if I want to meet him. So maybe she was a big fan of yours.
Who is your not your favorite wrestler songman, but who's like your number one crush as far as wrestlers?
Well, right now, and there have been quite a few in the days, but maybe right now, Tessa Blanchard, that's been on hiatus for a while, maybe I would say.
Lexar, do you have a top wrestler crush?
Bailey,
yeah, that's pretty good.
Even when she cut her hair, I still think she was hot.
I agree.
You know, she cut off her hair, she changed her personality. I watched her Chronicle over the weekend, and like she talks about being this hugger, high five Bailey with a ponytail, and she's 30 years old and she looks like 12. So the way she like cut her hair and changed her character is like she quote is like shedding her skin and becoming a new person, new character when she cut her hair.
Dobbs says God has a plan, and the Bible unfolds that wonderful plan through the message of prophecy. God sent Jesus into this world to be our Savior, and that Christ is returning someday soon to unfold the wonderful plan of eternity for my life and your life. As long as we're cooperating with God by accepting Jesus Christ as our personal Lord and Savior, and as the Lord does return in the coming 7 days. Okay.
My mom would agree with this because she's very, very religious.
I think Dobbs might be hitting some of that stuff with Tazo. No. Worrying about my boy. Marty Van Buren.
You don't go to church, Jack? You don't go to church?
I do not.
Jackie, the interest last week said that he'd been to church, but you never been to.
No, I mean, true. I'm fine if someone wants to go. I don't go. You go to church? I know your mom does.
Well, I used to, but I just got lazy and just decided to stay home.
I walk by a lot of churches. I don't burst into flames or anything. Marty Van Buren, is Big Will the brightest young star in wrestling? I do like Big Will Hobbs, but I wouldn't say he's the brightest. You know what? I did not like his match with Brian Cage the other week. It was not good. I have very limited knowledge of Brian Cage, and I have to say I don't think he's very impressive. He looks awesome. He kind of comes off like kind of a doofus. Like in promos, he just stands there, and if he talks, he's not very good. And I don't think he's a very good wrestler. He just blows up like super fast, and he's athletic, but I think he does too much, tries to do too much, and not particularly good at any of it. Honestly, I was watching that match, and it made me realize, like, maybe I am a modern wrestling fan, because like these were just two big dudes who weren't very good, and it made me remember like watching like Anvil versus Warlord matches or something when I was a kid, and I'd be like, man, this stinks. But that's not to say I don't like talented big guys. Let's see. Marty Van Buren. Hetty House includes Jack, Incher, Lexar, Miss Destiny, Juju, George South, and Steven from Butler. Who bangs who and who bruises who? I think we just get together and play like a big game of Monopoly. Maybe Scrabble.
Clue.
Clue's a good one. Mr. Green in the library with the candlestick. I'm a board game fan. We could play The Thing here. Nice board game here.
I never heard of it.
Yeah, it's based off the movie, the John Carpenter's The Thing. I also have this is a board game up here, Big Trouble in Little China board game. Do you wish you were Darby Allin when you lay down to sleep at night? Nope. I'm a fan of his, but I don't wish I was him. What would you do with the NWA? Just remember it fondly from the 80s. Is pooping the getting color of the Headyverse? Well, that would really be weird. Like if it was like a hard way poop. And what's like the blade job of poop? I don't want this weird territory. That's more of an intro question, I think. Did Jack wear a condom while voting? Oh, like on his finger, because Michelle McCool said she wore a condom for the first time ever. She voted. No, I filled out my ballot at home, and I actually popped it in today. I delivered it today. Could Stephen of Butler yodel? I don't know what yodel is. Maybe means yodel.
Yeah.
You misspelled it though. Can you yodel, Stephen? By the way, Stephen did a wonderful rendition recently on the Facebook page of
Piano Man.
Piano Man, but he did the podcast man.
Yeah. I want to, so Lexar, Song Man. I did this really funny version of Piano Man called Podcast Man, in which I replaced all of the lyrics of the people mentioned in the song with people from the Headyverse and a few WWE superstars, including you two guys. So if you're on the Facebook page, the In Your Head Facebook page, look for it. Just a little silliness I put together. And Jack's in it, and Incher, and Shaheen, and Swax. So view it, take a look at it, see what you think. Oh, here it is. Hey, the regular crowd seems in. There's Vince McMahon sitting next to me, complete with his shit-eating grin. He says, "Pal, can you play me my entrance theme? I'll make this abundantly clear. I'm sad and I'm tired, and if you don't do this, you're fired. Now let's shake things up around here. Give us a show, you're the podcast man. Give us a show tonight. Well, we're all in the mood for a pay-per-view, and you've got us feeling all right. Now, Jack is the host of In Your Head. He gets me on the show for free. He's quick with a joke for the incredibly woke, but there's someplace that he'd rather be. He says, Steve, I believe WWE is killing me. Monday Night Raw is a waste. I'm sure I could be going for my daily walk if I could get out of this place. Now, Paul is a WWE executive who married for a better life. He's drinking with Davey Meltzer. Frankie, what else is there? To do when Steph is your wife. And strippers are practicing politics, putting Lexar into a trance.
Hey,
They call friendliness, served with a lap dance. Give us a show, you're the podcast man. Give us a show tonight. While we're all in the mood for a pay-per-view, and you've got us feeling all right. It's a pretty good crowd for a Tuesday. Fincher gives me a smile, 'cause he knows that it's me Shaheen's coming to see, to forget about Swax for a while. And the podcast sounds like a carnival. The microphone smells like a beer. Songman joins the show and says one thing I know, I'm glad when I'm always here. Give us a show, you're the podcast man. Give us a show tonight. While we're all in the mood for a pay-per-view, and you've got us feeling all right. That's about the third time I've tried to do this, and it is so hard. Anyway, In Your Head Wrestling Radio, Tuesday nights 9 p.m. on YouTube. Look for it for all the silliness, craziness, and fine entertainment. Join us every Tuesday night. Thank you and good night.
Excellent. That was very good. Very funny. I liked that. I was very happy to see that, Steven.
Well, that's just something I've just going around in my brain one night after watching AEW. I thought I like to watch music videos on YouTube, and one of them's Piano Man, and then it just kind of popped into my head, Podcast Man, and then one thing started, it's just like these ideas go around in my brain, and then I just started to write it down, and I thought I started to get serious about it, and put it all together, put it down, but I wish I had rehearsed it more because it didn't sound like the song.
I think parts of it did. I think parts. It was like the spoken word version. It was like the William Shatner version.
It sounded more you were singing the Muffin Man. Do you know the podcast man, the podcast man, the podcast man, who is Steven as the piano man? And just so you know, he's the man. He's the real piano man.
There you go. Maybe a duet coming up in the future.
So Steven has been influenced by the Dinner Debonair.
Exactly.
That's what it is.
You ever gonna sing for us, Lexar?
I don't sing. I don't have the voice.
Man, you gotta work on it. We'll get something from you.
I couldn't even sing the UEFA Champions League theme song.
That looks like the face of a singer right there. Does that look like you're looking in a mirror?
Not really.
It sounds like you're the next cast for Hunt, for the 2020's Hunt, that you're the most wanted new cast. To get hunted down.
Let's see. Is AEW missing out by not hiring esteemed free agent referees like Garrett Bischoff and Brad Maddox? I like Brad Maddox. I think he could do something. Marty Van Buren, the Boogie Woogie Man, Bailey, Hornswoggle, a free buffet, and a glass table fill a moderately priced hotel room. Would you stay or would you go? Do it up.
Do you think I have the voice for this? Listen, I don't know if you could listen. You hear that?
Yeah, I think you could sing that. Yeah. What was that? Is that the
Champions
Ecuador?
League? No, that's a Champions League. It's a soccer league over Europe. But it's UEFA.
Futbolinas.
Oh, you watch mixing, but that's
Sábado
you.
gigante, football you must. I speak better Spanish than that fraud incher.
Well, Lex, maybe you can be after Halloween the new opera in your head.
No, look at that. I think he's got the voice for it. I got the Phantom of the Opera here. Might have found his new calling. I love it. Well, the backyard wrestler broke his legs. Yeah, I don't know if you saw this. The backyard wrestler broke both his legs. It was very similar to the Sid leg break, and we jumped off the ropes, but it did both legs. And he's got a GoFundMe to help raise $200,000. So I really felt bad for the guy. I mean, it looked awful.
Yeah, I saw that too. I watched that too.
So yeah, I hope I mean, hope he gets better. But
it reminds me of me when I had my leg like hurt, just like Sid's and got kids.
Oh, you broke it like right in half?
Yeah, that was like years ago. Remember
I
when I was
when
in
you
the
broke
hospital?
it, but I didn't know like it actually just like broke right in, like Sid's where.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
How long did that take to heal where you could, walk like normal again?
Like 8 to 9 months.
What was that? Sorry.
8 to 9 months.
Wow. You doing okay now?
6 to 8.
Like, are you normal?
I'm okay. Yep.
I'm going to show this in case you guys haven't seen it. Okay.
Oh boy.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay. If you want to look. Oh my.
Oh God.
Oh
God.
God. That's painful to even watch, isn't it?
Jeez.
The worst thing is that he has his the NWO Wolfpack theme as his theme song.
That is the worst part.
Yeah.
Damn. All right. Well, that's all the questions for this evening.
No Nikhil Callahan questions.
We actually did them. I didn't bring it up that he was because I thought maybe you'd bail on us, but he had like 10, I think. We went right through them. All right. Well, I had a good time.
This is the most wrestling we talked about like since the beginning of YouTube. Since the first episode of YouTube, probably. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is the most wrestling we talked about. And you barely watch wrestling.
That's very true.
Oh.
So go on, Steven.
I was just gonna say, Bound for Glory was this weekend as well.
Oh.
I actually watched some of it because I just I wanted to, like, I don't watch Impact, but I wanted to see what they were up to. It kind of reminded me of WCW in that it was like a reset where they just changed all the belts.
Oh, really?
Everybody who had a belt going into that match lost, and like Eric Young, who was the champion, lost to Rich Swann, and I thought he was the big heel champion, and nope. But not a very memorable show, I guess, because I don't follow it. But there was only a few names on it that I did recognize, like the Good Brothers and Motor City Machine Guns and Eric Young. But I want to try to get into more. But like 3 hours, like I said, 3 hours of Raw and 1 hour,
just
2
so
hours
much,
of it's just for me, and I love wrestling, but it's just too much time. So
yeah, I mean it's like a full-time job to watch it all.
Considering the hours 3, 5, 7 with Impact would be 9 hours. It's like that's way too much. in a week. Yeah.
Yeah. So Halloween's coming up this weekend. I got my Halloween shirt on. You guys got any plans for Halloween?
So the officials here in Toronto have recommended that the kids don't go trick or treating this year.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
Going door to door during the pandemic doesn't seem like the smartest idea. This will be the first year I miss. I normally go to a 12-hour horror movie marathon every Halloween in Brookline at Coolidge, and they're doing it this year, but they're doing it outside. And sitting outside for 12 hours in New England in the fall doesn't sound like the greatest time. I'd probably freeze. But and
Is it a drive-through?
No, it's
like a drive-in movie.
Nope, no. It's outside. It's outside by a lake in the woods, which I've been to before when they did Friday the 13th, and it's cool. But that's like 3 hours, 2 movies. This is 12 hours. I don't think I really want to sit outside for 12 hours. So yeah, but, my friend Annabelle was wanting me to go, but I don't think I'm gonna go. But it's unfortunate. I would like to. I miss doing that, but I don't want to sit outside for 12 hours. Doesn't sound like a good time. So I really don't have any plans either. This Thursday we have two episodes of Without Your Head's gonna be live. We're gonna do one at 5 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Pacific, and we're gonna have a live Halloween makeup demonstration by a makeup artist from Hollywood. That's gonna be very fun. And then we're going to do another one at 8:30 at night. And we're going to do a 13 episode where we talk about what costumes we'd like to be from the horror movie world. So that'll be fun. That's on the Without Your Head YouTube. You go to youtube.com/withoutyourhead and subscribe and click the bell icon and get all the notifications. It's fun. And you can also zoom into that. It's a different Zoom number, though. Right. I think it is. Anyway. It might be the same link. I don't know. The hell do I know?
Topic on the second one.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
Yeah,
it's a good time. All right. Anything else happening, buddies? Before we take off here for the night, I don't know if we'll be on next week because it's election day, and we did a show once on election day, and no one tunes in, and it's not particularly
except for me.
You did, yeah, you're a good man.
Yeah, I remember the whole day. I remember the whole day. Like me, like I voted and I went and did some things earlier in the day, and then
although I think this year it won't just be a voting day. It's probably going to be voting weeks or months. Like
out of the blue,
we know what exactly
my brother called in and he offered me to go to a strip club. Yeah, we went to a strip club on election day. And in that club, all the TVs, usually in strip clubs, they show sports, but they show election day coverage. On
that doesn't seem like a good time. So you got like a booty in your face, and then up here's like these people like, vote for me. Because, seems like a weird combination.
Looking at the election
looking results. At Trump. That seems like a weird combination.
The Hall of Famer.
Yeah. That does sound like a fun time, though.
Yeah, we didn't stay there that long either. I think it's like maybe 45 minutes, 30 minutes. We just stayed up there, and we left because I think my brother had his boss called, and like he had to go to work unexpectedly, so we had to leave. And I made it in time to watch SmackDown, which was overseas at the time. Mm-hmm. They had a show, and I don't know where it was, in Germany or Europe or somewhere, England. I'm not sure where. Right. But I had SmackDown over in Europe. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
SmackDown Tuesday nights. Back in the day.
If anyone before the end of the show, we run out. We're just got a few more minutes here. If you super chat $10 or more, I will send you this and I will sign it.
But I must get half of the share.
Boom. Pretty sweet.
Again, that looks like Dexter Loomis.
Well, then Dexter Loomis is going to get half the share.
Whatever.
Maybe I'll send that to your mom for Christmas, and she could frame it and put up on the wall.
Maybe you should do one of me smiling, because you last week you commented that you like my smile. So.
I do like your smile. It lights me up. It makes me happy. I'm not just saying that to be nice. It makes me happy. It's very good. All right. So Vince Rudo here, he's being a rude ass in the chat. He's like half-assing it, Jones. But hey, he didn't let me finish. Tomorrow night, I'll be back here right after AEW for the Jackie Jones post show. And I just won't do the show next week right after for election night. But I will be live next Wednesday for Jackie Jones show. If Incher gets off his lazy ass, he can be here too. So he probably won't be here because he's a lazy bitch. I'm just joking, but he really is. But so yeah, tomorrow night, AEW post show, and then next week it'll be AEW post show / might be like more of a regular in your head, because you guys can call in, and we'll do that on Wednesday night instead of election night. Good. And speaking of Incher, he is going to actually be coming back to one episode of Without Your Head. So for one night, not exactly sure yet, but it'll be Nasty Neil, Terrible Troy, Treacherous Trista, and the return of Jittery John for our 15th anniversary show.
All right.
So that'll be fun. All right. So until next week, this is Jackie Jones, and we've got the panel of the Headyverse Thunderdome here. It's all the good folks. A bunch of good-looking guys here, I have to say. And we'll put out a calendar next year. The hunks of the Headyverse. All right. See everybody. Thanks for watching. I always have fun on the show. And thanks for the guest, Patricia, earlier. And we'll be back next week. Bye.